All right, here we go. So these are people who apply the rule of five in their business every day. And in doing so, they have grown their business and they've grown personally. So the first one we're going to start with, Kit Caldecott shares that she would like to acknowledge the collective team. We got a whole team here. Tracy Krebs, Diane Massera, Jo Marie Clark, and Robin Nagel. These women have faithfully been showing up to their Zoom call every week. They come prepared to share an actionable step that they took the previous week that shows what's working well for them. That's a good little habit to be in with your team. This gives us all an opportunity to learn and grow, hint, hint to the rest of us. And she just wants to acknowledge their consistent effort to do the simple tasks that make us all successful, namely making an effort daily to work out, eat clean, share their experience, and invite others to this journey. Well done. I love seeing when small teams start to develop and connect with each other and make that kind of impact, because it truly does impact the rest of us. So good job, guys. Tracy Morrow has a recognition. She would like to recognize Kit Caldecott. She says, Kit Caldecott is my culture champion of the month. Kit knows her why and is continually focusing on how she can better serve. She takes her team to the next level. She is an incredible example of continually assessing what she's doing, how it's serving her team, and creating a growth environment both for her challengers and her coaches. Kit never ceases to amaze me with her passion and skill set and how she embodies integrity and trustworthiness. Our team is so much stronger and certainly steady because of her leadership. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Kit, for being a leader to this team. Stephanie Griffin would like to recognize Natalie Nardone. She says, Natalie for sure gets the culture. She is a consistent product of the product, a visionary, and truly gets the recognition and shouting folks out piece. That's our new fourth vital behavior. If you follow the four vital behaviors, recognition. So she is very good about seeing when people are doing amazing things on their team. She is someone who has never reduced a client to a Success Club point. She always sends thank you notes and never fails to see the best in others. That is an amazing quality, to see the good in others. My husband has that gift. Well done, Natalie. Thank you so much. Jackie Conley would like to recognize Taranimi. She says, this girl is an ideal team player. She's always there to lend a hand, listen, and just offer her service to help the entire team. She's a certified life coach, and I often look to her for guidance and support. She is wise beyond her years. She has been through so many life struggles, including losing a child. Oh, and her struggles have always made her better, not bitter. She reminds me that we always have a choice how we react to struggles. She is a shining example of what a leader looks like. Amazing, Tara. Thank you so much for your leadership on this team. Stephanie, or I'm sorry, this is me. I would like to recognize Mandy Martin. She shows tremendous heart in this business. I have personally watched her reach out to upline, downline, crossline, coaches who she's had no connection with, really at all. And just so, you know, she can help them learn, help them grow, and then also gain so much information and learning from them. So it's really a give and take, but she is so much more of a giver. She is dedicated every day to her rule of five and even leads a 5 a.m. group to help encourage others to get up, get moving, and get their power hour in. She makes me want to be a better leader, and I'm so proud of the business she is building. Thank you, Mandy, for being an amazing part of this team. All right, so I am going to move it. We have a special little gift for you guys. Someone will be contacting you to get your information. We have a little gift that we want to pass out. Tracy will be sending that to you, so be on the lookout for that. Tonight I want to talk to you guys about a topic, what you focus on grows. I've been reading this book. I'm going to show you in a minute. And I came to this part in a chapter that said what you focus on grows. And I'm like, oh, I folded the page over and I was like, that sounds awesome. So tonight I want to help you guys learn to focus on what matters when it comes to helping your business grow and just achieving things personally and fulfilling your success as you go along. I think most of us can agree that it's become increasingly easy to lose focus and get off track and fall behind on our goals. There are so many distractions. Some of them are necessary, like unexpected doctor's appointments or sickness. Um, some of them are just kind of random and chasing squirrels, like watching silly videos that show up in our news feed, cute kids. Before you know it, you're shopping for shoes and ordering plane tickets and completely forgot why you sat down at the computer. I want you to envision this a little bit. So this is the book. In fact, if you get this book, here we go. This is a book I've been reading and what kind of triggered this. And this is where I got this kind of thing I want you to envision. So envision that you are at the top of an organization. And we're all really at the top of our own organization, right? No matter how big your team is, you are at the top of your organization. And you function like a big gear. So you move even a little and you cause these gears below to move with you. And those gears cause the gears below them to move. And those gears cause the gears below them move. And before you know it, you have all these gears frantically moving along, just caused by that one simple movement that you made. So I've seen this in my own team, maybe a team training that would be presented to us, and I'd be all on board and working the system, and the ripple effect would take action. Duplication ideally would start in a perfect world, right? And all the moving pieces would work together to create these beautiful layers of productivity. But I'm not always the best, gear starter, I would say. I've had to grow a lot. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit better, but there have been times in my business where I wasn't that perfect moving things. So imagine, with that whole image of the moving pieces and the wheels, imagine what happens if the leader keeps changing. We're on this way, and then all of a sudden, a good idea, and let's change back this way. Well, all of these gears, what happens is the teeth start to break. The teeth of the gears start to break, and really this foundation that's holding the whole system up starts to fall apart. I wish I could take credit for it. I can't take credit for that analogy. So here I am 5.5 years into this business, and I read through that and I thought to myself, oh yes, I've totally done that before. And gosh, for all I know, I'm probably doing it now in my business, because we're always like trying to figure out what's wrong. Why can't we make this happen? Why are things falling apart? And then we want to try things new. And in reality, that's not always the solution. It's almost never the solution. But we have to, we hear these new or top coaches and people who we think are really successful, and they talk about this, new training that's the secret sauce, and we slam on the brakes of the wheels in motion, and we try to crank it in another direction. And really, it's no wonder that we have coaches falling off and getting distracted and chasing their own shiny objects and feeling the need to maybe even go create their own new and improved systems. How many of you created your own systems or felt like what wasn't working, so you need to go create something completely different? If we want a team to run smoothly as humanly possible, we as the leaders, whether it's you may be a leader of 2 coaches, you may be a leader of 5,000 coaches, but we as the leaders need to be very clear, right, Tracy? Clear and consistent on our focus. And I say Tracy because the other day we were talking, and she talked about how she's always been very clear to her team as to what they could expect of her. But after all these years, she's really realizing that, she's never really been clear on what she expected of her team. And when she said that, I thought to myself, yeah, I'm guilty of that. I have always known where I'm going. I've always known, what I wanted to do in this business, but I haven't been great about setting up the expectations for my team. And, now some people don't really need those expectations. I'm not one who would need that. Tracy, doesn't need someone to tell her what to do or set those expectations. But in reality, most people really do. They want it and they need it. And, I have people on my team who just can't understand why I'm not better at it. I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. All right, so this is a funny quote that John Addison says. He's the author of the book, Real Leadership, by the way, if I didn't actually say it. I know I showed you. But he says, most people have the focus of an octopus on roller skates, a whir of activity but no direction. The focus of an octopus on roller skates. I mean, that really just sums up my day today. So it's human nature, it's natural, but I think the key is recognizing it and learning to get back on track. That's the hard part. So what should we be focused on? What does the concept of focusing on what grows look like for our business? Let's not even go into what we shouldn't be focusing on, because I think if you probably take a quick evaluation and simply ask yourself, do I have the power to change it? Or what can I control? That's going to give you a good list of what you don't need to be focusing on. So let's kind of look at the things that we can focus on. And one of those things is customer service. Whether it's your coaches who have been signed up with you for 3 years, they're still your customer. Like my husband, from the day that I started running this, he's very involved. He's outside involved, but he's always said, your coaches are still your customers. You need to be helping them on their fitness journey. It is our job as coaches to provide excellent customer service. And that is the one thing that if nobody else is doing it, we can step in and take control. And there have been times when I've gone out of my way to help coaches, several levels down, or a customer of a brand new coach who, really there wasn't a whole lot of personal gain for me. It could have been like a $20 program, but my goal was to, restore trust with that customer. And it was a teaching opportunity where I could show my coach how, we can take that ability to serve and help them to take that next step in customer service and help people. Now, I'm not saying by any means that you have to go helping everybody in your organization, your customers, solve these problems. There are tools in place to do that, but there are opportunities. You have to just kind of have the discernment to figure out where you need to stick your hands in, because sometimes it's a simple fix that you can take care of easily that, a newer coach may need some help with. The second part, adding more people, recruiting. Oh, I don't like that word, but it's what we do. And when I say adding more people, I'm not even just talking about adding coaches. It's just adding people to your funnel, the people you're connecting with each day. You have full control over the number of people that you're adding to your funnel or to your list. Some you may find you have nothing in common with. Some, will be nice connections. Maybe they'll never be customers. Some will be lifelong customers. Some will be coaches. And of those people who become coaches, a very small percentage of them will be your leaders. They're hard to find. It's totally normal. So if you feel like you just can't find anybody, it's normal. There's a small percentage of those people who are going to become your leaders within your organization. But you have to, there are going to be some people who are going to lead you to other people. It all takes time. And it's all of those things are in your control. Like finding the people, that's in your control. You can't make them become leaders, but you have so much control over putting yourself out there and meeting people. But it's so crucial to keep that momentum going, because if you stop, which I feel like I've been guilty of even in the last few months, if you stop that, the compound effect still is taking place and it will catch up to you. And all of a sudden you're like, I have no more people. You have to keep adding to that funnel of people. Am I the only one that does that? You guys are all adding people, right? You don't have that problem. Good. Thank goodness. All right, so the other piece I want you guys to pay attention to is the activity tracker in your Finish Line Leader app. These are all things that you have 100% control over. So every day I grow, that's your personal development, your prayer time, your devotionals, your workout, your shakes, your nutrition. 100% you can control that. Connecting with people, everyday connect, you're meeting people, you're talking to your leaders and prospects and customers, your follow-up, you keep reconnecting with those that you've invited and engaged with. Tracking, every day we're tracking. How can you know where you're growing or where you're falling behind if you're not tracking? I will admit this is the one I stink at the most, and I don't like to track. You know why? Because I don't like looking at the end of the day and seeing all the things that I didn't do, because we get caught up in stuff, but you've got to start tracking stuff. And then, of course, you're planning. So scheduling when you're doing all of those things, put them in your schedule so that you can make sure they happen. Again, 100% control. All right, I'm going to kind of change gears a little bit, like that, change gears. You guys stay with me, though. Change the gears with me. I want to talk about blaming versus taking responsibility. So sometimes we get in this debilitating area of blaming instead of taking responsibility. And I think I've even heard John Maxwell talk about, taking responsibility, even at times when we knew it wasn't our fault. It's just part of being a leader. Imagine that in our politics, right? The truth is we all have the power to make the situation better, even if it's just a small move in the right direction. Are we focusing our people on the negative? When we're talking to our coaches, when we're on our team pages, whether you're running a team page or on a team page, are you bringing negativity into the group? Again, what you focus on grows. Are you focusing your people on negative? Slow season, end of the year, low network volume, low team growth, some stupid things that some coach said. A customer service botch up, though I know nobody's ever had that problem. But what are you focusing on? If you focus on the problems, they're going to grow. If you focus on what's wrong, more problems are going to come. And that's the last thing any of us want. So once you start focusing your people on the negative, and I quoted this from John Addison's book, but once you start focusing people on the negative, then the negative is what they start to see. And guess what people do when the focus is on the negative? They tend to do negative things. It's just our human nature. So this is why we push personal development so hard, because it just surrounds us on planet Earth. It just surrounds us. So we really have to be careful of our words when we're sharing with our team. Be careful what you're posting in the groups. I make it very clear in my team page, this is a positive environment. If you have an issue with, customer service or a shipment or something like that, we can't do anything about it in our team page group. You need to take it to customer service or private message, someone, your upline diamond, and, see if you can take care of it that way. But don't because what happens? Like everybody in the group, oh yeah, I had a delayed return too, and blah, 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 blah. And then it just explodes from there. So let's keep the negative down. So yeah, we have to be careful of the words that we're sharing on our team. Of course, things are going to go wrong, but really, it's our privilege. It's our privilege that we get to be a part of that solution, and that's how we need to look at it. So my husband loves this company. He loves what it's done for our family. He loves the mission. He's very fond of Jeff Hill and Carl Deigler. They don't know who my husband is, but he's an analyst, and he's a very smart guy, and he really sees the big picture. So the other day we were talking about, where things were going wrong and what we could change, typical outsider looking in, saying what's wrong. But Matt really does get it, and he's a silent observer, and he takes, the charts and scales of my business, and he kind of watches the trends of the company as a whole over the last 5 years. And, we were kind of talking about, where we needed to focus, where our focus needed to be as a team. And really it came down a lot to our current customers, because again, what you focus on grows, and we focus a lot on how we can get our next Success Club point. There's nothing wrong with Success Club. It's how we legitimately grow our business, but it kind of disincentivizes, really sticking to our current customers. Some of us have, if you've been a coach for a while, you've had quite a few repeat customers. And we have customers who, though they're still our customers, maybe they haven't purchased in a while, but we don't we don't tend to focus on them as much. I mean, as a whole, some of you are probably may be really good at that, but as a whole, we don't, because we get 2 points, right? And that's it. And so we need to kind of change that focus and find balance, because if those people were our customers 6 months ago and they still need our help and still want to be in our challenge groups, they deserve our time and attention. You know, the culture of this team is to add value. It's the John Maxwell way. It's the finish line leader way. And if we really want our roots to grow deep and wide, we have to stay focused on those relationships that we start. You know, I am not suggesting at all that Success Club isn't important. You know, remember I said, you know, we need to be focused on adding to our fund of people. So it is very important. It's a good sign of the growth of your team, but it is not the determining factor. Those numbers do not determine your success in this business. The number of lives you change determines that, and that may not always be connected to a Success Club point. Our list should never stop growing. There always has to be balance. You're going to have some customers and coaches who will be with you forever. They may never be team builders or leaders, but they are incredibly valuable members of your business. They're obviously believers of our fitness programs and our Shakeology. They value the team, and more importantly, they value you as a coach, because what you offer them as a person, not the sale, because of who you are and what you offer them as a person. Nobody else can give that to them but you. We need to make sure that they're just always feeling welcome into our team and into our groups. So everything we do is all about people. Our business revolves around inspiring people, creating an environment of trust and of purpose. And when you have customers, you know, cancel Shakeology or coach quit on you, you have to learn to let it go. I watch far too many coaches, you know, lose hope and kind of crumble each time there's a small tremor in their business. There just are some things that we simply can't control. And now, you know, there are times when you can evaluate the situation. Maybe you found, you know, things that you could have changed or things that you could say different, but you learn from those. You see your mistakes, you evaluate them, you learn from them, you grow from them, and you move on. You can't get stuck on them, because your business will just come at a standstill. You focus on that negative and it just drags you down. You have to focus on where you can grow from it, and growth will happen. You see where I'm going with this? What you focus on grows. So I want to encourage you tonight to take a good look at what you want in this business, and more importantly, why you're here. Because if you don't know why you're here, if it's not tied to something strong, then you're not going to stay. If it's for the Success Club points, you're not always going to hit it. Are you going to quit? If it's for the recognition, you're not always going to be recognized, even though you deserve it. Are you going to quit? If it's for the income, your income may not be where you want it to be. Are you going to quit? Or is it for the people? Are you running a business to truly serve others, to help others build a business, to help them achieve their financial goals? Are you running a business to help people lose weight and live a healthier lifestyle? You know, to kick depression. We've seen that a lot in our team, to improve their overall well-being, because that should be the goal. And once that becomes your mission, you're constantly going to feel satisfied. And automatically, like magic, when you do those things, the Success Club points come, the income comes, the recognition comes sometimes. But all that stuff does come. So we really are a company of helping people. You need to, I know, like we say it all the time, but you really got to lock that in. You let that sink in this week as you go about your business. I wish you guys an amazing close to the year. We have a few more weeks left in December. I pray that all of the right people are put in your path, and that 2017 just opens up wide open for you and is your best year yet. Thank you so much, Tracy, for letting me have the privilege of doing this call. And you definitely make me want to be a better leader, and I appreciate this team so much. So you guys have a great evening. Some of you are staying on for the opportunity webinar that's coming up. I guess it's on the same line. But you guys have a great night. I'm going to try to keep reading your comments, but I'm going to close out. All right, good night.